Hello everybody, Robert Radford with 50 Years of Chess. I'm bringing you a game today which is from 1994, 31 years ago. Who was world chess champion at that time? I believe it was Garry Kasparov from 85 to 2000. Now, this game was played at a place called Cotswolds in England. It's in the Gloucestershire area. It's called that because of the hills, very high hills, almost like mountains, and it's called the Cotswolds. And I played in a major tournament, and it was on the 30th of May 1994 that I played my opponent, who was one Mr. D.Robinson. Now, I don't know much about him, except that he had a rating at the time of around 1500, and at that time I was rated around 1765, so he's a lot further behind me on the ratings. And but what I've always found with chess is they say you can only beat what's put in front of you. Well, yeah, if you can beat them, but there's always a chance in chess that you can be overconfident and lose to players thinking, oh, well, that guy's a long way behind me in ratings, I should be able to make mincemeat of him. Not so. You have to play just like you were playing a grandmaster or anyone like that. You have to play to win, but to be alert and to be watching everything. I've lost games against weaker players where I've just took it too easy, and it's not the way to play chess. So, my friends, let's look at this game. I was playing Mr. Robinson, I was playing white, and I opened with e4. My favourite opening, I've always liked e4. In recent years, I've gone to play d4 a lot more, but I still like to play e4, especially when I'm on the internet. c5 from Mr. Robinson. This is a Sicilian opening. Knight f3, d6, c3. So this is a break from the d4 open. Is to try to create a situation where white gets a pawn on d4 instead of the knight, and then he's got a stronger centre. Black plays knight f6, hitting that e-pawn. g3. Now, why did I play that? I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, Rob, you might just lose that pawn on e4. Ah, yes, but you remember what I taught you about the Petrov defense, where I had an opening where I learned how to win the knight? It's simple. Knight takes e4, and I flip the queen out to a4 check. So my friend saw this, obviously, my opponent, and he played knight c6. So now I got to protect that pawn with d3, which is fine. He played g6, bishop g2, bishop g7, castles, castles. I played rook e1, standard. Rook b8. He's looking to push his pawns on the queen side. So d4 then. And he never took the pawn. Instead, he went knight back to d7. Interesting, because the dragon bishop, which is what we call it, on g7, has a wide range from a1 to h8. If it's open, it can be a devastating piece in this opening. So that's interesting that you played that. For a lower rated player, that's quite interesting. So I played bishop e3 to just control that centre. Now he's pushing down the queen side, which is what he wants to do. It seems to me like he's probably played this opening a lot, and he likes the Sicilian, and he's got some experience in it. He's not a young man, as far as I can remember. Queen d2, b4. So yeah, he's really pushing down this side. He's got a plan. You see the plan. Pawns attacking my pawns, backed up by a knight, backed up by bishop on g7. He's definitely formed a plan, this guy. So I've gone knight to g5. Why have I done this? Well, the ideal is to push on the e-pawn and then I'm attacking that knight, which is on left and unprotected on c6. So we played g6 and I've gone back knight to h3. So now he's playing because I'm attacking the h6 pawn with bishop and queen, and he's only defending it with knight. So this is good. I've gained a tempi here. So I played e5. Now I got bishop takes knight. It's the threat on c6. So he couldn't take any of the pawns in the middle. He either had to move the knight or play pawn takes pawn, which was a good move, the right move. B takes c. Now he's played queen c7, protecting that knight on c6, which he doesn't want to move, not unnecessarily. So again, this is good for me as I play e takes d6, but he retook with e takes d6. Now I played knight into f4, and this is getting me some real good tempi because I got control over the d5 square with my knight and bishop. After knight into d5 is really quite something. So he played knight to b6, knight a3, again attacking the queen if possible with knight b5. So he's played bishop a3, which is a good move. It stops knight b5 and it develops the piece. Rook b1, rook from f to d8. So now I brought the bishop into e4. This is to develop it to a more attacking square against the king on that diagonal, on the b1 h7 diagonal. So he's pushed the pawn e5, bishop back to c2, pawn takes pawn, and I've still got a superior position. Queen into e7, h5. Oh, I played h4. Sorry, I played h4. Then he played h5. So now he's missed the fact that I can play knight take h5, which I did, winning a pawn. And that's put him back a bit. So he's gone rook cross to h8, knight takes bishop, king takes bishop, and bishop to f4, which opens up the open file for the rook on e1, that e file. So he's brought that rook across from b8, which was being attacked by the bishop, to f8. I played rook b3, rook h7, and then king g2. I don't like these squares around the bishop, which are weak. I have to do something about that. So now he's gone bishop back to c8 with a very dangerous attack on the h3 square, because he's also got things like rook takes pawn on h4 and things like that, which could really make things interesting. So I blocked all that, shut all that down with rook h1. I'm happy with that move. That will keep him at bay. And then he doubled his rooks, and I played rook c3. But I felt I had it covered because I got the rook on c3 covering that rank, the third rank. So rook h5, bishop back to d1, showing black that was not a good move. So he went back to h7. Then I played bishop into e2, and he played a6 to prevent me from pinning his knight on c3. Knight back to c2, bishop b7, knight into e3, and he played f6. bishop to g4, which I can play now the knight is on e3. Now if he does play, for instance, f5, that takes the sting out of him moving g5, because I can just take it with the bishop and it wouldn't do any harm. So he went queen back to d8. He's protecting the knight, but he's also eyeing that pawn on h5, should I leave the bishop there. So I went queen into d3, and he played knight b4. This is a mistake, and I'll show you why. Queen back to b1, a5. He's only got a5, knight back to c6. So he went back knight to c6 and rook b3. That wins me a piece. Nothing he can do stop me from taking either the bishop or the knight. So he wants to preserve the bishop and gone bishop a8, and I took the knight on b6. So he took the pawn on e4, which is all he could do really, and now he's a piece down, and I've got a winning game. I've got plenty of pieces around my king to protect it, so I'm happy. Queen b2, hitting the knight on d4. So he's gone back to c3 again, and I brought the bishop into f3, attacking that pawn on d5. Of course, if he moves that pawn, then that gives me two pieces attacking the knight on c6, and it's only being defended once with the bishop. So you move the rook across to e8. It's always a good sign when you see your enemy, who's been gradually building up forces against your king, moving them away from the attack on the king. Means he's changing his plan by the moment or by the move, and that's always good. That's a good sign. So rook takes pawn advantage and a piece, and he played d4. d4, hitting the knight. So I went knight into c4. Now he's played g5. It doesn't do that much because I don't have to take it. I just play bishop in d6. And here I'm now going to win a piece. If he plays pawn takes pawn, I'll take that knight with the bishop on c6. And I'm already a piece up. And he's got a lost game. So he resigned. So I'm threatening to win a piece on c6. So there we are. Thank you for watching the game. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will bring you back more games as soon as I possibly can. Thank you very much, and have a good day.